What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to scan your film negatives at home using a mirrorless or a DSLR camera. And I'm going to preface this by saying that I've never used a scanning method before, so this is not like a comparison video of scanning it at home versus a scanner like an Epson scanner. But before we begin, I want to give a shout out to Joey Greer. Obviously he has no idea who I am, but I've just been enjoying his book lately. I'm about halfway, and besides the obvious great photos that he takes, his life story so far that I've read has just been, it's crazy. It's yeah, it's just been a really good book, and you guys should check it out. Before we begin, I want to say the stuff you need is obviously a DSLR or mirrorless camera. I'll be using a Sony a7R III that I'm actually recording this right now. You'll also need a macro lens. So on my Sony a7R III, I'll be using this Sigma 70mm 2.8. It's a macro lens. You will also need some spirit levels to make sure your camera is aligned with the base of the copy stand that you'll be using. If you don't have a LED light source, you could just use a iPad. Just set it on a blank white page and then turn the brightness up, and then it'll do okay. Also, you're gonna need some, I would say these are kind of extra, but I would recommend them. You're gonna need some gloves to make sure, some dust-proof gloves, you know, so that when you're messing with your film, you're not getting dust on them or fingerprints. You'll also need a dust blower. And then I want to mention that the copy stand, the film carrier that I have, and the light source, it was actually a set that I purchased on the brand Negative Supply, and this is just a basic set that they sell, and I believe that they have a better film carrier where instead of manually lifting up the lid and pushing your slide the film through, there's a rolling thing that kind of automatically pushes the film for you. So I think that's the only difference. Also, okay, so now that we have all the supplies, you're gonna need to set your aperture to, I would say, anywhere from f8 to f11, and then set it to aperture priority mode and set your ISO as low as possible. I just set mine at 100. And then from here, you're gonna just have to scan your negatives one by one. And here, because I don't want to manually use my shutter with my hand, I use an app called Camrote, like remote, I guess. And it connects to my camera, and I just push the shutter here, and then it takes it instead of, because I don't want any kind of micro movements on my shutter when it's taking the negatives. And then I take all my photos that I took of the negatives, and then we're going to put them in Lightroom. And for this example, I'm using a program called Negative Lab Pro. They do have a free trial of I think 12 images you can convert for free. But after that, you have to purchase the program, a one-time fee of $99, which I haven't done yet. Again, this is my first time doing it, so I'm not speaking as an expert. But I do plan on purchasing the product fully after these trials run out. So this is assuming you already have Negative Lab Pro installed into Lightroom. Once you do have that, you open up Lightroom, and then you import your negatives, the pictures of your negatives. And then from there, you are going to hit first you're going to use the white balance tool, and then press on a border on the outline so it gets the example of the white balance that you need for this particular picture of your negative. Then you are going to hit Control N, and I'm using a Mac here, and then it'll bring up your negative lab right there. And then I set mine as a TIFF file, and then we hit Convert, and then apply that. And here is the image right here, and it's very similar to what I got from my the labs, and you can kind of tweak it, you know, on the before you hit apply, you can kind of tweak it. So that was a basic explanation of how I scan my photos at home using a mirrorless camera. And I'm not a pro at this, like I mentioned, and this is my first actual video on camera, so I may seem a little nervous, but thank you for watching, and please subscribe, please like the video, and share it with your friends if you've enjoyed it. And I'll provide all the links for the negative lab supply stuff that I used in the video. And again, thanks for watching.